I am an undocumented student attending Atienza College. I was brought here when I was 13 years old, and since then I had a desire to attend college and get a degree. But I didn't know that it was going to be so difficult for me to keep up with that goal and that dream.
I found out that what it really meant to be undocumented when I finished high school. And most of my friends were heading to college, and I had to often lie and say, "Yeah, I'll be going next year." But the truth was that I would never be able to make it. It would be too expensive for me to go because I didn't have papers.
Sometimes I get in trouble because of my economic status. There has been times when I had to borrow money or sell stuff to pay for my tuition. Opportunities here are very, very limited.
And because I got a job, I had to drop out. And I haven't been able to go back because it's hard.
I am a first generation student at the UNC College, and because I am undocumented, to me it's like I've been living in the shadows. I was brought here when I was 1 year old, so this is basically my life, and I live in fear that one day I may be sent to Mexico, a place that even though I was born in, I don't know the culture or anything. I don't even know like the relatives that I have over there.
So we lived in a time of great fear and great anxiety and a lot of negativeness towards our community. I felt ashamed of the way we came. I felt that we didn't deserve to be in this country. That we had to go back and reapply and go through a bunch of crap just to come back here again. Yeah, and part of the thing is trust. I can't really tell everyone that I'm an undocumented student because there's still that fear. That fear is always going to be with me. And from that fear spawns frustration. I'm a paradox to freaking Lou Dobbs and Bill O'Reilly. I am not the terrorist or the migrant farm worker. I'm a student who wants to do something with his life, who wants to become a lawyer and help out his community succeed and help people who are also marginalized succeed and get out of that sense of fear. And that's all I really want to do, but there's times that I feel that I can't because of the restrictions applied.
We often feel, undocumented students often feel invisible. They feel that they can't be truthful to their counselors. They feel unknown. They feel sometimes even second class because of the media and because of the words that people like Lou Dobbs and O'Reilly often say that undocumented immigrants should be kicked out or should be sent back to their countries, and which is, it's ludicrous because undocumented students and their families, immigrant families, are hardworking people, and they just want a better future. My parents want a better future for me.
If you are in my situation and you need money, you never know where to go to look for a job because many of the employees, the first thing they ask you for is for a social. If you don't have a social, it's kind of impossible to get a job because it doesn't matter if you're in the honor roll in high school. Without a social, you're forced to look for a job in the service area, like restaurants, hotels, fast food, or the construction. Sometimes I get jealous of my schoolmates because they can get jobs in school or one of those fancy stores, But I have to accept this reality and wait. Maybe sometime they pass one of those propositions like the Dream Act. Yeah, my dad always told me that hope dies last. You know, he always used to support me in situations like this, and he told me to never to give up. That if I would put extra effort in what I do, I will succeed because hard work in one way or another is always rewarded.
I have to work to go to college, and if I work, then I don't have time to go to college. And I don't have enough money to not work and go to college. It's really sad. Because I really want to go. Because I don't want to work here for the rest of my life. I want to have a house, and I want to have cars, and I want to have a family, and I want to be able to support my family. But I can't if I don't go to college, and it's really hard to go to college and do all the work and be dedicated to my studies and have time to study and have time to do everything that I'm supposed to do for college and still have time to go to work at like enough hours to get the money in order to pay college. And because I got a job, I had to drop out, and I haven't been able to go back because it's hard, and my parents won't help me because they don't think that it's their responsibility to get me through school, because if I'm 18, then I'm my own responsibility, and it's like my choice whether I go to school or not. But if I do go to school, then they wouldn't pay for it.
It feels like if the problems will never end. If I don't have them at home, I'll find them at school or on my job or just outside in the streets. It's even more difficult because for me, I don't have that connection with my family about this topic. Once I try to tell them about how hard it was and that I needed like extra support, and then they told me that if it was hard, then how come I was there? How come I just didn't just drop it, and so that I just didn't have to deal with it.
It's really important for counselors and for administration and for people who are educators to really provide support and be understanding of the situation that undocumented students have to go through. Be understanding that they go through a lot of stress, that they're always in a lot of stress with family issues, with financial issues, with being accepted in society, and know our stories. Our stories are very personal and very emotional, and I think that people should be careful when they use words like illegal, because illegal makes you feel inferior. It makes you feel like you're from a different world. It doesn't make you feel human, actually. And I think it's important to educate ourselves and to educate what the laws are and educate on our rights. Undocumented students should know their rights, and to know that even though society says that you may be an illegal, and society has a thing to say that undocumented students and immigrants don't have any rights, and that's not true, because we do have our rights, so we have to stand up for them.